Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, please allow me to introduce myself to you. My name is Vanessa Samina, tarot reader, dog mom, and your favorite psychic here on YouTube. So in this video, I have all of your March 2022 predictions and horoscopes prepared for you. And this is another one of my Vanessa Samina exclusives, another super accurate and highly interactive video because this pick a card reading consists of two parts. In part one, you get to pick of 4 groups, which I will introduce to you during the intro of this video. And in order to receive the second and even more personalized part of your prediction, scroll down into the description box or to the top of the comment section where I have provided all 12 signs of the Zodiac with corresponding timestamps. So you simply click those and you'll be fast forwarded to part 2 of your prediction. So for this video, I'm using the tropical astrology system, and I would highly recommend that you watch your sun sign and your moon sign. And if your busy schedule permits and you know your rising sign, then please do tune into your rising sign as well. So these are the 4 groups of part 1 of your reading. The 4 groups that I have prepared for you to choose from during round 1 of your March predictions are as follows. Group number 1 corresponds to the Pastel Journey Tarot deck. Group number 2 corresponds to the Star Spinner Tarot deck. Group number 3 corresponds to the Modern Witch Tarot deck, and group number 4 corresponds to the Muse Tarot. And as mentioned, all timestamps can be found down below in the description box, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section for quick and easy access. So all you need to do is click your timestamp and you'll be fast forwarded to your readings. So by now, you've hopefully been able to select one of these 4 groups. I am about to get into the readings, but before I do so, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Fabulous, for making these predictions possible. Today's video is proudly brought to you by Fabulous, the #1 self-care app to help you build better habits as well as achieve your goals. I love this app. It's no secret, you guys. I have been using Fabulous for months now. And one of my absolute favorite things about this app is that it is backed by behavioral science. It breaks down scientifically proven healthy habits into teeny tiny tasks, which you can easily achieve every single day. This app has gently encouraged me to build healthy habits that stick, and I have done so at my own pace. Fabulous encourages you in a really gentle, fun, and supportive way to stick to your goals, but also to celebrate all of your accomplishments, no matter how big or small they may be. And some of the healthy habits that Fabulous has helped me build and also stick to over the past couple months is to get up and get my body moving. I've posted lots of proof of that on my Instagram stories, going for morning walks, doing yoga in the morning, as well as reminding myself to meditate and practice mindfulness right at the start of the day has truly been a game changer for me. And aside from ticking off all of my habits in the Fabulous app every single day, I've also been truly enjoying the daily coaching sessions, which are bite-sized. So these are personalized 3-minute long coaching sessions that can help shift your mindset if you feel like you're in a rut and help you win the day every day. And when I feel like I could benefit from the support of a like-minded community or some input from other people, I simply go into the circles function on my Fabulous app. I get support and motivation from other members of the Fabulous community, and I've been able to join different circles on a variety of topics. My favorite circles to hang out in right now is the Pet Lovers Circle, the Decluttering Circle, the Get Productive Circle, as well as the Self-Discipline Circle. You can help others or receive feedback and motivation, all while surrounding yourself with a like-minded community. It's no secret that I'm a huge fan of the Fabulous app, and I highly recommend using Fabulous to support yourself in building your ideal daily routine. The first 100 beautiful little unicorns who click my link in the description box will get their Fabulous subscription at 25% off. So make sure that you utilize my link at the top of the description box when downloading Fabulous. So many of you have already been enjoying enjoying using the Fabulous app, and I can't wait for more of you to discover what the Fabulous app can do to help you achieve your goals. So I would once again like to thank Fabulous for sponsoring this video, but now let's get back into your March predictions. So without further ado, let's get into your readings. I will be starting off your March 2022 predictions with Group 1, and to all of my other beautiful groups as well as signs of the zodiac, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your reading. You chose the Pastel Journey Tarot deck in order to help you in the first part of your March prediction to figure out what's coming towards you, what to look out for, and just the things that March entails that you couldn't have foreseen. We've got the Three of Cups, the Ten of Cups, as well as the Seven of Wands. So let's talk about all of these cups within your reading, group number 1. The Suit of Cups corresponds to the element of water, which speaks of your emotional well-being and inner workings. The Three of Cups here shows me that you're having a great time with other people. Group number 1, these people are from all backgrounds and walks of life, and I see here in the Ten of Cups that March is going to be a time of fulfillment, especially emotionally speaking, and when it comes to relationships in your life. Even if you're an introvert, I can see here that the encounters, the social interactions that you will have and the social encounters during the month of March are actually going to help recharge you. So there may also be something like a birthday that you're invited to in March, or just some celebration of some form. I see that in the 3 and the 10 of Cups. So that of course calls for extra celebration, extra amazing energy, and you spending time with people who you want to be around. The Seven of Wands here shows me that you definitely feel as though when it comes to some of the projects that you're looking to complete, like it's you against the world, like there isn't enough time in the day for you to complete all of the work that you've kind of set out and scoped out to complete during the month of March. The Judgment card shows me here that you may fall into a little bit of a habit of feeling bad about not accomplishing as much as you thought that you would, or you think that you should, which is why it's so important for you to be here and for you to receive these messages for March, group number 1. Don't judge yourself, and remind yourself of the fact here that if you've overestimated how much you can accomplish, that can also be seen as you being very ambitious, you trying to see the glass as half full instead of half empty, and as you shooting for the moon and maybe landing somewhere amongst some beautiful stars and constellations that you didn't expect to come anywhere close to. The Hierophant shows me here that when it comes to your spiritual well-being and overall your connection to Source and the universe, you're having lots of fun with that. So maybe you're partaking in some rituals that you're not used to or you've never done before. Think a full moon or a new moon ritual where you manifest, where you spend time with other like-minded people, doing things that help you create a reality that you desire. So spending time in some meaningful rituals, that's definitely going to serve you. And the Ten of Cups shows me here that you're feeling really fulfilled during the month of March, especially when you compare the month of March to some other months. The Potato shows me here that March brings really grounding energy to you, and you may live in a place where the seasons are kind of changing a little bit, and you feel as though March is definitely a time where you finally feel grounded and you finally feel as though you found a good space for you to reside in spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Next up, we've got the Daffodil. The Daffodil shows me here that March is giving you hope for the rest of the year. So there will be some sort of success or some sort of epiphany during the month of March that shows you, hey, the rest of the year can be successful too. The rest of the year can take you to unexpected positive places as well. And there's no need for you to freak out over little challenges and incidents that may come up. I'd say that that's actually the whole fun and thrill of life, right? If everything were to just work immaculately and there would never be any challenges, I think we'd get bored pretty quickly. But it's definitely something that you need to get used to celebrate some challenges that come up and know that whenever you conquer a challenge, that just solidifies your self-confidence even more and prepares you for greater success. The peppermint shows me here that March is going to be a month of success for you, group number 1. We already kind of spoke about that here within grounding and hope. You seeing that, hey, if I can overcome this, then I'm able to overcome any other challenges that are put on my plate or brought my way as well. And the peppermint is a symbol of success coming your way for the month of March. We spoke about the Ten of Cups, which in the tarot is known as one of the most favorable cards when it comes to your emotional well-being and mental health, and that paired with celebration amongst other people, as well as the peppermint, shows that group 1, March is meant to be a really prosperous month for you, that you look back on and you think to yourself, wow, that was actually a great month of the year 2022 for me personally. I can see here within movement that a big part of what makes March so fun and special and what will make it so memorable is the fact that there is a lot of movement that's happening, both physically as well as emotionally. So you going to different places, exploring different areas of cities. I can see here within movement that also emotionally speaking, just moving into different headspaces. Once you're very work oriented, then you're in party mode. All of that movement is actually really healthy for you and makes you feel as though things are happening at a good pace in your life. The faith card shows me here that it will allow you to have more faith that when it comes to projects or work, even if you feel like you're quote unquote behind or like you're this age and you felt as though you should already be at this point in your career, but if you're not quite there, you can be very hard on yourself and judge yourself for it. I can see here within faith that the movement in other areas of life is actually giving you faith that you'll be able to garner that same momentum when it comes to your career. I can see here within pain that there's definitely some things that you will be working through, say spiritually, things that have to do with childhood trauma, with trauma that you had in connectivity to social situations that made you question whether there really is like a universe or a God or a higher power, because if there was one, why would you have gone through this pain, right? Why would they have let this happen? Oh, we have a card that popped right out of the pile, and it's anger. So this deck is truly speaking to us directly when it comes to this situation. Anger just kind of pushed itself out of the deck in a very forceful way, and I see you reflecting on that. So it's not at all a negative thing here for you, group number 1. I can see that this pain and anger coming up is actually just a reminder of the fact that certain things happen for an inexplicable reason, and those things can make you question your entire worldview or your faith. And I'd say those moments in life are very important as well, group number 1, because it really allows you to reevaluate whether your faith and your belief system is serving you, or whether you feel as though there's some sort of discrepancy that doesn't quite work with your worldview and with your experiences in life that you maybe need to realign, or maybe you need to reconsider. I can see here within the rooster that we have a person who is quite boastful, someone who is maybe even a little bit arrogant, that you should just stay away from, especially if your trauma or your pain is connected to another human being and their actions. Know here, group number 1, that they're not going to see anything wrong in their actions, even if a lot of time has passed by. So there's no point in trying to bring it up to them. I can see here that you will be more victorious if you focus on what's going on for you internally, and that you will be victorious in so many endeavors that it's really just not even worth giving your energy to someone who is unwilling to see any wrongdoing of the past or see how any of their actions could have affected you into this present moment. And quite frankly speaking, you do not need their recognition in order to move forward and heal, group number one. Remind yourself of that. So this is the first part of your reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a little chicken emoji down below in order to let me and others know that this is the first part that you chose. But now don't forget to scroll down into the description box where I have the timestamps for all 12 signs of the zodiac listed. Click your timestamp and you'll be fast forwarded to the relevant portion of your horoscope where we get into even more detail about what's coming towards you during the month of March. Hello, group number two, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Star Spinner Tarot deck in order to help guide you through the first part of your March predictions. Now let's get straight into it. Okay, we already have a few cards that are just flying right out of the pile. We've got the High Priestess, we've got the Eight of Swords, we've got the Wheel of Fate, as well as the Knight of Swords. Okay, we've got an interesting combination, but right off the bat we have two cards that correspond to the Suit of Swords, which is the suit of your inner workings, your mental realm. It is the suit of communication, and it represents the element of air. I can see here within the Eight of Swords that during the month of March, you will find yourself having to make decisions really intuitively, and I see here in connectivity to the Knight of Swords that you will have to exert a lot of masculine phallic energy in order to make those decisions intuitively, as it is definitely a month that has many high points but also some areas where you feel low, and the High Priestess shows me that it's best for you to simply follow that gut feeling and that intuition of yours rather than to overthink why you're going through everything that you're going through in March. The Wheel of Fate shows me here that there is some rapid movement that's happening, and things that you set into motion, they're definitely going to come to a culmination. So if there are work projects that you have started, know that you're going to be able to complete them in March. If you have, for example, put into motion an application for an apartment or a new job, just something where you need an answer, you're definitely going to hear back during the month of March. And I see here within the High Priestess that it's important for you to keep faith and keep a positive outlook in order to attract positive outcomes. Because if you go to an interview or you hand in your application already thinking to yourself that it's probably not going to work, you're definitely not heightening your chances putting that type of energy out there, because other people can feel the energy with which that you fill out your forms, with which that you appear to a physical interview or even a digital interview or meeting. I can see here within the Ten of Swords that it's time for you to leave your ego and pride behind during the month of March. It is not serving you, quite frankly speaking. You're actually even noticing how in many instances there were options, but you maybe chose pain because that's what you were conditioned to choose from an early age onwards. Like, for example, refusing to change your opinion because you had already gotten too deep into a conversation, discussion, or an argument, and then holding on to that opinion despite knowing that it's maybe not serving the situation at all. I can see here in the Ten of Swords that you're letting go of the need to be right in March. I see here within the Seven of Swords that a big part of March for you is to just also come to the realization that a lot of people did not actually know what they were doing either when they were teaching you, whether it was a teacher or a history teacher that was ill-informed, misinformed, or had a hidden agenda, whether it was your parents who actually didn't really have their lives figured out, but they still did the best that they could. And realizing here in the Seven of Swords that you often have to relearn things, and you often have to teach yourself a lot of things by yourself. It's definitely not an easy thing to come to terms with, but I do want you to know here, group number 2, that despite having a lot of swords in your reading, which shows that you have a lot of changes that are happening in your mental realm, there is definitely a lot to look forward to, as well as I do want you to know that the High Priestess puts this type of positive ethereal spin on situations and experiences that allows you to see everything as a learning lesson and see everything as an opportunity for growth. We've got the P next, which goes really beautifully with the Suit of Swords showing up so much for you, group number 2, for the month of March, which kind of represents communication, which is what the Suit of Swords is also representative of. So I see that you will be talking about your feelings, what you're going through, and the watermelon shows me that bringing up things such as fertility, such as family planning, or there not being any family planning for you, these are things that you're looking into. If you already have a family, whether that is one that consists of another human being, maybe some animal family members, or even some human baby family members, I see here in the P and the watermelon that discussions about how this is moving forward, whether a family expansion is in the realms or not, these are all things that you're thinking of and discussing with other people. And I see in the tomato that this is rooted in love. So communication being a big part of March shows me that you will have lots of deep conversations and discussions. And I don't know how much deeper you can get than family planning and speaking about things such as fertility. So know here, group number 2, that there are a lot of things that you're thinking of that are very life-changing, and you're discussing with other people what to do moving forward and what would be best for you. Next up, we've got the fennel, which shows me some strength coming forth here. Inner strength especially. It takes a very strong person to realize that maybe your ego has taken hold of you in some situations in which you would have been better off just being a little bit more open-minded, or not protecting yourself or feeling the need to protect yourself as much as you did. I can see here within the Dahlia that you're working hard on refining those areas of yourself, your communication skills, and your life where you feel kind of attacked, even though maybe someone isn't necessarily attacking you at all. And you're reminding yourself here to not feel insecure, to not take things too personally or seriously. People will always have an opinion and make comments, group number 2. But I see here that during the month of March, you're having this realization that really it doesn't need to affect you, and you don't need to communicate with people who consistently show that they just want you to feel bothered at the end of the day. I see here within the mystery that you're turning away from those relationships, and rather than giving those more energy and more of your time, you're choosing to remain mysterious to people who really shouldn't have access to your emotional realm, and you're very protective over your energy. I see here that in March, you're highly protective over who has access to your family, who has access to this discussion about fertility and family planning, and where you see your future going, whether these are long-term plans, like plans for the next 10 years, or you're thinking of making changes to your family structure right now. You're very picky about who gets to be part of that conversation, and that's something to be proud of, group number 2, because honestly, these are very private things that you need to decide for yourself, and you don't need to allow just anyone to be part of that conversation. You can be choosy, and you should be. I can see here within the ink pot that you're resolving problems in March that have been here for a while, that have maybe lacked that communication that would have been needed in order to resolve them, but you're definitely finally making progress when it comes to issues that have been here. I can see here within the rat that you have to be really careful, as there may be someone working against you behind your back, and that's why it's also so important for you to be very picky about who gets to be part of your table, so to say, part of your world. Know here in the rat and the Seven of Swords that these are cards that show there could be deceit around you. So someone pretending to be something or somebody who they are not, and your reading is definitely picking up on that energy, and your guides in the universe is telling you to watch out and be really careful, and that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you inviting fewer people to conversations into your table than you would in the past, just in order to ensure that you're inviting the right people and that you don't have anyone around you who doesn't have your best interest at heart. So group 2, this is the first part of your reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it and found it insightful. Leave a watermelon emoji below if you did, but now head down into the description box, click your zodiac sign so you can be fast forwarded to part 2 of your prediction, where we can figure out even more details about what you need to look out for during the month of March. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your March 2022 prediction. You chose the Modern Witch Tarot deck to help guide you through part 1 of your March prediction. So let's get into it so we can figure out exactly what is coming towards you during the fabulous month of March. We've got the Page of Pentacles, we've got the Four of Cups, as well as the Four of Wands. So right off the bat, we have the number 4 show up twice for you, group number 3. And the number 4 in numerology is actually a number that represents stability and that represents the ability to stay grounded as well. And here in the Four of Cups, I can see that you have a tendency to want to always find something new to do, something new to discover, which is of course great as a trait in itself, but you also need to ensure that you remain grateful and happy for the stable things that you have in your life, despite them becoming the norm over time. I see here within the Four of Wands that there are some stable relationships and situations in your life. Think a job or a relationship where you know that you were always able to count on it to be there for you, that have maybe grown to become a little bit quote unquote boring, group number 3. But keep in mind here that it is so essential that you appreciate what's in your life, and where there is stability, as I can see here in the Page of Pentacles, that there is an opportunity during the month of March for you to add to these areas of your life that you feel have grown a little bit stale, or that you feel could use a little bit more color and excitement. The Page of Pentacles shows me here that you have a new business idea, a new idea as to where you can put more time into in your life, where you can add some more resources in order for you to exponentially create more value in the long run. So think of investing in stocks or real estate, or just overall becoming financially literate and understanding exactly how you can build a career as well as a financial setup that will serve you for years and decades to come. Next up, we've got the Death card. So group 3, the Death card, despite what it looks like, is not a sign that there is actual death looming in the month of March. It is actually a card that signifies there's a new beginning, that something is coming to an end, and that there has to be a fresh beginning. So I want you to know here, in connectivity to the Four of Cups, that an area of your life that you have been unhappy with, that you have felt has become boring or repetitive, it's going to come to an end as soon as you find that deep appreciation for it and you remind yourself that it did serve a purpose. You will then be able to move on from it. But the more you kind of enact this resistance, the more that you say to yourself how unhappy you are about something, the more you'll actually draw more of it into your life. So try not to do that. As I can see here in the Five of Wands, that resistance is a topic that you're looking at and that you're trying to overcome during the month of March. So it is a big month of personal internal growth. And I want you to know that it will definitely lead to fresh beginnings in your career. The Ace of Wands shows me that these fresh beginnings come with amazing ideas that are super innovative, super fun, and creative, as the Ace of Wands is the ace of the element of fire, which stands for new innovation as well as creative ventures that you're looking into and that are becoming a part of your existence during the month of May. So who knows, maybe you will develop a new software, maybe you'll finally start up your YouTube channel, or just overall move further into the world of creating a business that you're excited about, creating your own brand and making your own footprint. The King of Swords shows me here that there's someone in your life during the month of March with whom you can exchange a lot of these ideas with and who can give you really great advice. I want you to know in the King of Swords that they're most likely someone who is slightly older than you. They are someone who has had a lot of life experiences that you don't lack, group number 3. That's not what I mean, but that you still have before you, and they can give you great advice as to how to move forward in it. The Knight of Cups shows me that moving forward, you're definitely in a headspace where you're focused on figuring out how you can make new connections and also how you can get yourself and your headspace under control in order to ensure success. So not overthinking things, not feeling as though some areas of your life are boring just because you have a routine or just because they have been stable, but instead seeing these things as things to be appreciated that a lot of people wish that they had and that you can see the light in. I can see here within the 3 of Swords that there is a relationship that you thought was going amazingly well that's actually going through a really rocky kind of phase, that's actually at a really difficult spot. I see that with the 4 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. As you can see here in the 4 of Wands, we have a depiction of a seemingly successful relationship where two people are able to build a strong foundation with one another, but it becomes clear very quickly in the Death card, the 5 of Wands and the 3 of Swords, that this is just what it seems like on the surface. So don't be surprised, group 3, if you have a close friend or acquaintance, a family member who is telling you about a breakup or a marriage that's dissolving, that's on the brink of falling apart and divorce, and that you're actually kind of going to be there for that person. As I see here in the 8 of Cups, they're going to leave that relationship and they're no longer going to want to be a part of it. And this is going to affect your life, hence why it's showing up within your reading, group number 3. And I want you to know here that this actually also serves as a completely fresh start for your friendship and your relationship with that person. The 8 of Wands shows me that there's a lot of movement coming towards you during the month of March in 2022. This movement coming from a place of inspiration that you're getting from the King of Swords, which is actually the King of Air signs. I didn't mention that, but I want to give you a little bit more information on who this person is that's inspiring you and that's helping you in order to not make the same mistakes that they made in business and in life. So the King of Swords, as I already mentioned, is most likely biologically older than you, also mentally more mature. The 8 of Wands shows me here that they're still in their prime though, okay? They're still working really hard and they are by no means retired. Being the King of Swords, so the King of Air, does indicate that they are either a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius, as this air sign energy is really prominent. And the moon does show me that rather than simply focusing on logic, which is something that a lot of air signs tend to do, they actually often listen to their gut feeling and go with that sixth sense that they have developed over time and through experience that they have had. They have been through tough times in the business world. They have been through difficult times in their private life as well. They have suffered injury both mentally as well as physically, but they've gotten themselves back up, and you're taking inspiration from them. I see here within the King of Pentacles, on the other hand, so we're moving back to the right side of the reading, which focuses on the situation that will result in a fresh beginning, that will result in something that seemed as though it was stable actually kind of crumbling and falling apart. I see in the King of Pentacles that the main issue here was finances. It was the non-existent work-life balance. It was the fact that both people were going in a different direction and had different values when it came to money. And the Ace of Pentacles here shows me that, yeah, there just needed to be a fresh beginning. And sometimes the only way how a fresh beginning can form and take place is by people breaking up with one another and going their separate ways. You being a witness to that, I see, is definitely also going to teach you a lot of things. And I can definitely also see that it will allow for you to cherish what's already in your life and functioning well, even if it's not always exciting, even if your relationships are very stable and therefore you feel as though there's never anything new. You understand that sometimes no news really is just good news. Next up, we've got passion. So group 3 in passion, I can see you having a lot of fun when it comes to your new projects that you're starting up. I can see that it is a great distraction from any drama that's going on around you, and it's a great excuse so you don't have to spend too much time focusing on other people's relationships. And the rosemary does also indicate here that for you, it's almost like history is repeating itself during the month of March with political events, but also the relationships around you. You're kind of asking yourself when people will finally learn, when people will finally kind of follow their gut instinct or intuition and stop repeating things that we've already been through so many times in the history of this world. And I want you to also know here within the Bay that wisdom is something that's really important for you to continuously acquire, because you want to make sure that no matter what you do in life, you always handle situations from a place of wisdom and trying to not allow for historical moments that didn't serve humanity to repeat themselves in a way that literally just creates turmoil once again. The Mayoram shows me your focus lies in happiness. With the carrot, we've got clarity. And with the cucumber, last but not least, your emotional realm. So happiness, clarity, and making sure that your emotions are in check, that kind of sums up what's the most important to you during the month of March. And you definitely also want to set a great example. So you're looking at leaders in this world, whether it's in business or politics or a scientific field, and you're taking all the things that you love and kind of rejecting the things that you don't want to repeat, the things that you've memorized as not serving anybody, in order to become the wisest and strongest version of yourself that you possibly can be, both mentally as well as professionally speaking. So group 3, this is the first part of your reading that I received for you, and I hope you enjoyed it and found it insightful. Leave a carrot emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here and that you received your first part. But now scroll down into the description box, click your zodiac sign, and you'll be fast forwarded to the second and even more personalized part of your prediction. So I'll catch you over there. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your March 2022 prediction. You chose the Muse Tarot in order to help guide you through the month of March. Let's get right into it so we can figure out exactly what's coming towards you during your upcoming month. We've got the Muse of Emotions. We've got the Knight of Emotions as well as the Seven of Emotions. We have the Suit of Emotions already show up 3 times for you. And the likelihood of this happening within the first 3 cards is very small, group number 4, because in this 78 card deck, only 14 cards belong to the Suit of Emotions, which corresponds to the element of water and the signs Scorpio, Cancer, as well as Pisces. So know here within the Muse of Emotions that we have the ultimate King and Queen of Emotions, which shows that March is a month where you have yourself under control. The Seven of Emotions shows me that you had choices. You could have reacted in an angry manner. You could have reacted in a manner that leaves you feeling depleted and anxious, but I see that during the month of March that you're focusing to always choose what serves you and everyone surrounding you. The Knight of Emotions shows me that you've learned this from experience, that there's no point in getting upset or making yourself feel anxious about things that are out of your control, whether it be stuff that's happening on the news, whether it be uncertainty about job security or what's happening with your studies, whether you should get those extra diplomas or not, or invest into that business venture. Know here with the Seven of Emotions, the Muse of Emotions, and the Knight of Emotions that following that gut feeling of yours is the best choice that you can make for March, as you are choosing to not self-sabotage, but instead do the direct opposite and ensure that you are constantly making the best choice that will have a positive ripple effect. The Four of Inspiration shows me that you're getting this energy from a group or circle of people who not only want the best for you, but who have the same type of values as you do. People who also understand that, yeah, it may seem woo-woo to a certain group of people or to society to use manifestation or positive thoughts in order to create a positive outcome. But at the end of the day, if it's worked for you, you don't need to explain why you're doing this or why it serves you or why you want to inspire others to give it a try. The most important thing is to remember that if it serves you and brings your life joy, then that's all that matters. And to keep putting energy behind your passions and into the things that serve you. The Three of Emotions, we've got another card of emotions, group number 4. The universe is really speaking to the water-based side of you, so the side of you that does handle all of your inner workings and your inner world. And the Three of Emotions shows me here that you're definitely also going to spend a lot of intimate moments with other people, simply enjoying their presence and choosing very deliberately only to spend time with people who fill up your cup rather than only drink from it or deplete it, if you know what I mean, group 4. Next, we've got the Four of Materials. We've had the number 4 show up for you twice here within these cards. We've got the Four of Inspiration as well as the Four of Materials. The Four of Materials corresponds to the element of earth, as the suit of materials is the suit of earth. I want you to know here that the Four of Materials shows that you're hanging on to your material possessions, belongings, to your wealth and your money. So March may actually even be like a no spend month for you or a low spend month. If you haven't thought about your finances yet, know that this is your sign to ensure that you're sticking to your budget very rigidly during the month of March, as it will serve you later down the line and it will facilitate your success. And also, the more you're able to really get a grip on your spending habits, the more you will know that yes, you can do things successfully, because you already have proven to yourself that if you say it's a no spend month or a low spend month, you can do it no matter how big the temptations may seem at times. I can see here within the strawberry that the most important thing for you to do is to be in agreement with your own kind of thoughts and feelings about your actions. And I know this seems strange, right? How can you not agree with the things that you do? That's something you may ask yourself, group number 4. But there is a lot of self-sabotage which can go on in day-to-day life. Like, for example, reaching for that piece of cake, that bowl of ice cream, and not being in agreement with it, because you know that you actually wanted to go for your apple first, you actually wanted to go for that rice dish first, rather than eating something that won't make you feel as good potentially. So your actions don't always have to be in alignment with what you really do want to do, but sometimes you just have this urge to go against what you actually agree with, and that's okay. Some of us have more of a rebellious nature, and some of us are also fighting with EDs, but I do want you to know here that the more you can get a grip on your time management and how you manage your finances, the more you will also feel like you have control over other aspects of your life, and you no longer act in a way that you don't really agree with, but you just do so impulsively. You will find that fall away more and more as you begin to focus on strengthening yourself from the material basis into other areas of your life. So next up, we've got the Tarragon. In the Tarragon, I can see here that March is a month of regeneration for you, especially if you've gone through an injury. I want you to know here that in March, you will successfully be able to recover and regain some of your strength, as the chrysanthemum shows me here that this is the month that focuses on longevity for all of my beautiful souls of group number 4. Now, longevity means to retain quality of life over a long period of time, right? It's important for us to not just focus on what seems to be healthy in the moment, but to focus on what gives us longevity, what's sustainable in the long run. For example, example, doing a rigorous workout plan where you're meant to work out every single day for an hour, 2 hours, yeah, it may make you feel like you have an increase in vitality at the moment of you doing it, but over the course of decades, is that really sustainable? For some it is, but for most of us it just isn't, because our bodies maybe are not built to go through these rigorous workouts, or joints might start to ache and pain, and that will gnaw away at your longevity. So it's important for you to take a step back from ego or from wanting to prove something to yourself or to push yourself so hard, and focus on longevity. Group number 4, focus on things that you know you could do, say 1 or 2 decades down the line, healthily, while maintaining amazing mental health. So for me, I found that, for example, walking and running, those are things I can really sustain. Going to the gym, I'll have times where I do want to go, but I'll have moments where I don't want to see anyone and I don't want to be in a crowded, cramped gym. So I choose to focus on what I feel brings me longevity, which is being outside and moving in the nature. I can see here within the Page of Swords that this is a complete reboot for your system, group number 4. So it's almost like a software update that's going on within yourself and within your outlook, how you see longevity working out for you, both in your diet as well as your exercise regimen, and also not being so hard on yourself in the moment and focusing on things that you can do for years to come happily, right, and healthily. The Six of Chalices does also show me here that you're definitely going to be in an interesting romantic situation during the month of March. So someone showing an interest in you who you maybe thought was already in a relationship, or you thought wasn't really looking at you in a romantic sense. I see that they will express an interest in you. The Three of Emotions and the Seven of Emotions shows me that this will happen when you go to a social function. The Tower does also indicate some big changes coming in March that make you feel as though you have to completely change your view of this person and your view of the world that you live in. But the exciting thing about this is that you get to kind of start afresh and choose to see things differently. So choosing to see this person who is interested in you romantically, after all, as a potential match, or as someone who is in the same headspace as you are, that can be exciting. But also choosing to see yourself as more desirable than you realized you ever were. That is another thing that I can see here in the Tower and the Six of Chalices, just finding a different nook and niche of self-love that you hadn't explored, that really does allow you to say, hey, I am pretty cute, I am pretty intelligent, I am a really loving, kind person who deserves the same thing in return, and breaking down patterns and different cycles of self-loathing or not feeling as good as you really should feel about yourself during times where maybe your body isn't on point, or maybe your skin is breaking out, or you just overall don't feel as good as you would like to. Bearing in mind that you're only human and things will fluctuate, and that that's no reason to feel any less attractive or worthy. Those are some things that I can see you working on here for March. We've got the Six of Swords next up, and the Six of Swords shows me here that March may start off a little bit difficult, emotionally speaking, mentally speaking. You will find March to be challenging at the start, but as the month goes by, you will learn how to navigate situations that you find challenging. You will learn how to deal with different mental blockages that may arise and come up. And before you know it, towards the end of March, we'll have lots of smooth sailing for you, group number 4. So this is the first part of your reading that I received for you. Leave a strawberry emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end. Thank you for spending this divine time and space with me, but now don't forget to click your zodiac sign to be fast forwarded to part 2 of your prediction. So I'll speak to you during your zodiac signs reading. Hello all my beautiful Aries babies, and welcome to the zodiac based portion of your March 2022 prediction. So let's get right into it. Lean back, relax, and enjoy this highly personalized portion of your prediction. We've got the basil, we've got the apple, as well as the sorrel. So one thing that I can see here within the basil is that the universe is asking you to trust that everything will turn out okay, and as well that March will be a continuance of things that make you feel cared for, that make you feel as though affection is part of your life. So if things are going well in your love life, trust that there will be a continuance of it. And if your love life is in a place where you wish that there was more affection, trust that there will be a continuance of you working towards affection, as everything is looking very favorable for you receiving a lot of recognition socially as well as romantically, and that aspect of your life continuing to blossom and grow from wherever it is that your starting point is, all my beautiful Aries babies. Next up, we've got the 10 of Swords. This card is so funny and ironic. As you can see, this individual is just on their phone as though nothing is happening, as though they don't have 10 swords that have pierced right through them. The 10 of Swords is definitely a card that is trying to wake you up from just keeping your head down in your phone on social media. And I know that this may seem kind of ironic coming from someone who does a lot of their work on social media, but the 10 of Swords is all about taking some time away from being captivated by what's happening on your screen, on your timeline, and looking around and knowing that there's so much more to this world than the public image that all of the people who have social media share and put onto the internet, and being up to date with that. There are a lot of other things going on in the world that would benefit from your attention, including your own personal life. The 5 of Cups here shows me that as soon as you look up, as soon as you kind of start afresh in March, where you're doing a bit of a digital detox and you're distancing yourself from some of the apps and some of the electronic devices that you usually kind of flock towards, I do want you to know here within the 5 of Cups, you will find that there is a lot of work that needs to be done in this world, and it can be a little bit daunting. It can feel as though you don't really even know where to begin, but that's where the Temperance card comes into play. That is where all of my beautiful, adventurous, and energetic Aries babies, you're being asked to use the best of your characteristics. You're someone who is very enthusiastic, confident, quick-witted, dynamic, pioneering, and courageous. I want you to know here within Temperance to use all of that to your advantage, and to remember that of course there are a lot of things that aren't going the way that they quote unquote should in this world, and there's a lot of suffering, a lot of difficulty, but that doesn't mean that you taking a step towards reconciliation or you taking a step in the right direction, that it will not have a ripple effect and make a big difference. It's all about those little actions and the little things that you do. The 6 of Pentacles shows me that March is a month of giving. You're definitely of a very generous heart and spirit, and donating to a charity or just overall giving your time to a cause that can benefit from your attention and your in-person attention, right away from social media, is something that you're inclined to do, and is a way in which you're going to spend some of your spare time. Next up, we've got the 8 of Swords as well as the Empress. I want you to know here in the 8 of Swords and the Empress to not stress out about family planning, to not stress out about the future and what your future may look like romantically speaking. As I see in the 8 of Swords, you may kind of get in your head or feel as though you don't have as many options as you really do, as the Empress is a card that not only speaks of fertility, but also how you're seen by a romantic partner, and how the relationship may actually develop into not just two people being together, but at some point maybe having a family of your own. Don't let that stress you out or feel as though you have to conform to the norm that we have within our society. Next up, we've got the Justice card as well as the Queen of Swords. Let's start off with the Justice card. Balance is something that concerns you for the month of March, and the Queen of Swords shows me here that you're ready to be very honest and be very blunt with people who are trying to take up more of your time than they really should, people who are setting up meetings that don't really need to be had, or in-person meetings that really could be had over Zoom in like 5 minutes, that do not require a long commute or do not require any travels. And I see in the Justice card, in connectivity to the Queen of Swords, that you're valuing your time and you're setting real boundaries between what you're taking on and what that you know is not really necessary to be taking up as much of your time and energy. Next up, we've got the hammock. I see that this is all because you're taking a vacation physically and mentally. You're taking time to reset and relax. And this makes a lot of sense. We spoke about it in the Ten of Swords, getting away from certain social media apps that always leave you feeling depleted, or that always have you comparing your life to other people's lives, and just distancing yourself from influences that do not contribute to flowers, which is representative of your happiness. So all my beautiful Aries babies, at the center of March is your happiness, and you want to ensure that every single decision that you make contributes to your happiness and contributes to you personally feeling your best and being in a space where you're excited to wake up every single morning and start your day. And that's an amazing mindset for you to continue on with. So trust that you're capable of it, and know that the people who will be supporting you on your journey will be there to provide love and affection and remind you to see things from a positive viewpoint. So all of my beautiful Aries babies, this is your March prediction. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Leave an apple emoji down below in the comment section, a red apple emoji, to let me and others know that you are an Aries baby and that you are here. Thank you so much for being here, for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, all my beautiful Taurus babies of the world, and welcome to your Zodiac Signs March 2022 horoscope and prediction. I'm so excited to figure out what's coming towards all my beautiful Taurus babies, so let's get into it. First up, we've got the Nine of Swords, as well as the Nine of Chalices. We've also got the King of Coins, as well as the Five of Swords. So let's get into it. The Nine of Swords shows me here that it's important for you to keep in mind that your nighttime routine is very important, and it can either aid in having amazing dreams, or it can be detrimental and leave you feeling stressed out and depleted in the mornings. So that is where I can see here in the Nine of Chalices that it's important for you to know that it is completely your choice whether March turns out to be a month of worry, or it is actually a month in which you can succeed and get to those next steps that you've been dreaming of in your career. I see that here in the King of Coins. But do know that you have a tendency during the month of March to be exposed to some nightmares or some difficult thoughts in general, my beautiful Taurus babies. The Five of Swords shows me that a great way for you to combat that is to focus on where you'd like to go, and ensure that the thoughts that you're allowing to circulate in your mind, that they facilitate that, and that they're on a wavelength that gives you support. So if you ever feel as though you're freaking out internally, because as a Taurus you're very patient, you're very reliable, you're not the best at letting others know how you feel, so try to open up when you're going through a tough time. Try to let others know what you're thinking. As ridiculous as some of your thoughts may seem, simply letting it out and communicating with others and having support from other people can truly help you balance any type of difficult thoughts that you're dealing with and help you be at peace and at ease. The Two of Coins here is all about that balance being present in your life, my beautiful Tauruses. So the Two of Coins speaks of being a boss, as we have here in the King of Coins, and with your career, just overall being unafraid to enter the workspace confidently and pursue your dreams, but at the same time to also know that if you're burnt out or if you're overworked, then you're most likely not going to be able to enjoy your successes. And trust me, I've been there many times, my beautiful Tauruses. It's important for you to be as determined in taking care of yourself as you are to reach things in the earthly realms. Next up, we've got the Knight of Coins. So having the Knight of Coins and the King of Coins shows me here that you're most likely going to have some company from another earth sign during the month of March. So think another Taurus baby, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. I do want you to understand here within the Knight of Coins that this is someone who is fun, this is someone who is determined to make a change in this world, and someone who wants to go from rags to riches. So they're unafraid to roll up their sleeves and put in the hard work. They're unafraid to put in blood, sweat, and tears, so to say, and this is definitely something that inspires you. So take some of that energy with you while maintaining that balance. Okay, we've got protection. It's important for you to protect yourself, my beautiful Taurus babies, because if you don't protect yourself, who is going to be able to do that, right? Because a lot of people are afraid that they may be getting in your way. So they don't want to get in the way too much when it comes to also giving you advice about taking some time off, taking some time to yourself. Nobody wants to get in between a charging Taurus and their goal and the thing that they want. So that is where I see fear and the Two of Coins being an area that you need to learn to deal with. Next up, we've got the Bridge. So it's very clear that within the month of March, you will successfully overcome any issues of balance that you may have had, and you will successfully be able to mend any types of fears that were here with other family members and people who can keep you on track as well and hold you accountable. Make sure you're taking breaks. The bell shows me that there will be a big announcement when it comes to a event that's taking place in your life during the month of March, and I want you to know within the Elephant that it is an announcement of the culmination of a long journey, either a physical or a mental one, and it has left you a lot wiser in the end, and it's definitely time for you to celebrate this journey and celebrate where you have been able to get to. Let's figure out what this announcement and this celebration is all about. We have a card that popped right into the reading. The Black Mulberry, which speaks of wholeness, which speaks of you coming to a place of knowing that you don't need any other badges, accomplishments, any other diplomas, or another person by your side, a ring on your finger in order to be whole. Your accomplishments, just as they are enough and they're valid. I can see here within the Beetroot that there will be a big announcement that will be made when it comes to a passion project of yours and something that you have been lovingly working on for a while, my beautiful Taurus babies, and something that you really find not just intriguing but also fun. The Fennel shows me that you've had to be very strong when it comes to this for a long time. So for example, if you've started up a YouTube channel on the side, or you started up a blog, an e-commerce shop, just a business, I can see that you will definitely announce the next steps, maybe even opening the doors, posting a first video, just overall taking a next big step that shows that you're serious about this and that shows that you want to create multiple streams of revenue, but also pursue multiple things in your life, and you're unafraid to do so. You're leaving fear behind. But please do bear in mind, all my beautiful Tauruses, that it is so important for you to continuously maintain balance. No matter how many projects you have on the go, there is one project that is constantly there and constantly needs to be prioritized, which is the project of your mental health, remaining in a place where you can function not just optimally, but you can actually thrive and constantly feel good about yourself and constantly give yourself the time that you need to recuperate and also feel difficult emotions and work through those. So all of my beautiful Taurus babies, this is your reading for March. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Leave an elephant emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here. Thank you for being here, for being a part of the unicorn family, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, all my beautiful Gemini babies, and welcome to your March 2022 prediction. Let's get straight into it. I'm starting off with the Modern Witch Tarot deck in order to help find out what it is that you need to look out for during the month of March. We've got the 10 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, as well as the Justice card. Okay, my beautiful Gemini babies, we are starting off with some serious tea about what you need to look out for. The 10 of Wands here shows me that you are done, you need a break, you need some rest, you've been overworked for way too long. And I can see in the 7 of Cups that you have over and over again chosen to just continue to fight through, to remain strong, and to not give yourself the time that you need to recuperate. Maybe you'll take a day here and there, but what you really need is a true vacation. I'm talking about a proper week or 2 weeks, as the Justice card reveals that you need more than what you've been giving yourself in order to restore balance. So you've been running your tank on empty, my beautiful Gemini babies, and you've been doing so for weeks or months, and it's definitely time now in the 7 of Cups to finally choose you, to finally choose to give yourself a proper little vacation and a proper time for you to recuperate. Next up, we've got the 6 of Cups. March shows me here that it is a very giving time. You're willing to give resources, be it time or even money, to a good cause and to someone who needs it, to someone who is struggling. The 6 of Cups corresponds to the element of water, which represents your inner workings, your inner realm, and your emotions. So the 6 of Cups shows me that you're also emotionally really involved with this, and this is not just some random charity or just a stranger that you're helping. This is someone who you care about. This is a cause that is near and dear to your heart, that is actually also helping you with balance, because when we invest time in helping other people, it definitely also affects us in a positive way. And even though it may be seen as work, it can have a very restorative feel to it. Next up, we've got the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a representation of you, my beautiful Geminis. You are an air sign who isn't afraid to tell it like it is, to be direct, to be blunt, to be honest. That's what the Queen of Swords is all about, honestly. And I want you to know here within the Queen of Swords that you're being called to apply that same honesty to yourself. As I see here in the 10 of Wands, that there has been a little bit of denial when it comes to needing a break, when it comes to needing some serious time out, and when it comes to not giving yourself just enough time to fully recuperate. Like I mentioned, 1 or 2 days isn't enough. You really do need time for regeneration, real time, all my beautiful Gemini babies. Don't deny yourself of it. Moving on, we've got the Chives. The Chives shows me that you're now taking a new interest to divination. So maybe you've become more into tarot cards, oracle cards, other types of divination, other types of magic, for example, that it just fascinates you. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is always a bulletproof way to say exactly what's happening in your life, but you're using divination as a form of reflection and as a form of illuminating different areas of your life that you were maybe kind of unaware of, but divination brings it to your attention at the right time. Next up, we've got the Rosemary. The Rosemary shows me here that you're thinking back at times where you came in contact with divination, but you kind of just shrugged it off as being very woo-woo, or maybe just being kind of weird and not your thing. But divination more and more is actually becoming a way of you checking checking in with yourself and of you reflecting and making yourself feel better. The causelet shows me that you have a strong desire to make a change and to make a difference in this world. And as a Gemini baby, you're definitely someone who is very eloquent and youthful and lively. The Queen of Swords paired with the causelet shows me that you want to use all of your amazing air sign traits in order to make a difference in this world, which is great, because I would definitely always recommend to go with your natural strengths rather than to try to acquire strengths that just don't go with your personality and your character. And the Queen of Swords is sometimes just relentlessly honest, and you want to bring that honesty and that directness to the world in a way that in the end helps people. I can see in the causelet is that is what you want. You want peace. You want to create a safe haven. You want to create a world in which when you perish and when you're no longer here, you have actually had a profound positive impact on this world rather than just a neutral one, rather than a quote-unquote negative impact, if one can ever categorize a human being's life as a negative impact. But I think you get what I mean, my beautiful Geminis. For you, you definitely want to live in a state of peace. You're not about drama. I mean, of course, if someone is kind of pushing you, you will use your sharp tongue to tell them exactly how you feel, but you're not someone who attacks in an unprovoked manner. I can see in the Queen of Swords that you're past that. You've matured past that. Next up, we've got flow. I can see here within flow that a big part of March for you is to find a peaceful state and just be able to flow while working, meaning entering your flow state. If you've been in a situation where you could just work on a project for hours and hours on end without any distractions and it seemed as though time didn't exist, that's what I mean with your flow state, my beautiful Gemini babies. And reaching that flow state is happening fairly often for you during the month of March. So really tap into it and schedule creative projects during the month of March, as you will be tapped into your flow more than usual. Next up, we've got happiness. We've got so many positive cards for you. In happiness, I can see that March is definitely a month that is more favorable for you, where you find a lot of joy and happiness in helping others, in being vocal about important conversations that need to be had. And I can see here within the Death card that you're moving forward from an era and a cycle in your life that has simply come and gone. So please don't be afraid, my beautiful Gemini babies. The Death card is actually a positive card. It is a symbol of renewal, of a fresh beginning, because there are sometimes areas of your life that do need to come to an end, where you can actually truly benefit from the Death card appearing. For example, if in the past you were very materialistic or judgmental and you've moved on from that and you're no longer so concerned with judgments, or you're trying to practice non-judgment as much as possible, know here within the Death card that this is a sign that you're on the right track and that you've left a good part of the judgmental era behind. And here in connectivity to divination, I can see that you're leaving some of that behind in context to metaphysics, in context to being metahuman, and using different tools that have not yet quite been explored as much as they really should be, in order to feel happier and just lead a life that is more at peace and at ease. The Abundance card shows me here that there's also abundance that you can reach that is coming towards you during the month of March. There is an influx of cash that you didn't expect. So think you being able to snag an extra job or some sort of extra bag in some way, shape, or form, finding some extra money in a jacket pocket, in a bag of yours. You get the idea, my beautiful Geminis. Then last but not least, we've got Rest to close off your reading, which is such a beautiful card to really come to a culmination combination. This is no coincidence. I believe that there's a reason why you're here, why you're watching this video, and why every single one of these cards were pulled into your reading, and why other cards remained within the deck. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and us ending your reading with this little reminder to take more rest than you would usually allow yourself to have, to take a little bit more time to yourself than you're used to. That's something that I really hope that you vow to do during the month of March, because you deserve it. So all my beautiful Gemini babies, this is the reading that I received for you. Leave a little money bag emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here, and just to manifest that extra little bit of abundance. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during your April predictions. Hello all my beautiful fellow Cancerians, and welcome to your March 2022 prediction. I'm gonna get straight into it. Just lean back, relax, and enjoy your March readings. We've got the Four of Cups, we've got the Four of Pentacles, so the number 4 is of significance, as well as the Queen of Pentacles. So let's start off with the number 4, my beautiful Cancerians. So the number 4 shows me here that there is some stability, but somehow you're not feeling it. Okay, you want more excitement, you want more drama, you want more things happening and going on. I see here in the Four of Cups that things that seem as just same old routines are making you feel as though your life is maybe not as exciting as it should be, and you may have yourself comparing your life on social media to other people's lives. But remind yourself, my beautiful Cancer babies, that people are only posting the highlights of their lives on social media. They don't post all the boring in between. So don't feel like you have a boring life just because you have some routines or some things that have been repetitive potentially. The Four of Pentacles shows me here that holding on to your money is part of March for you, or at least it is advised by the universe, as I see in the Queen of Pentacles, that there are bigger, more important investments that you should be making rather than purchasing extra clothing, skincare, little knickknacks, or gadgets, whatever it is that you're thinking of spending your money on that you don't really need. Please think twice and then think again, my beautiful Cancerians, because there's a important investment opportunity that's coming up soon, and you wouldn't want to miss out on that just because you already spent all of your funds on other things that you didn't really need. Next up, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. So the number 9 is a number that is nearing a completion, right? As in the minor arcana, each suit goes from the Ace through the number 10. So the 9 is pretty far in the journey to completion. The Nine of Pentacles shows me here that you need to just allow a little bit of extra time for stocks, for business opportunities to form. As already mentioned in the Queen of Pentacles, they are coming towards you. So the Four of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles shows that March is not a time for frivolous spending. March is a time for saving, and also for giving some of the items that you already own a new life, like recycling things, revamping them, remodeling them, and maybe you can even bleach some clothing in order to give them a completely different look. You can upholster some furniture. You can use a piece of furniture and turn it into something else. You can sell some things that you own. Make what you already have exciting rather than feel as though everything is stale. I see here within the Bay that will really help you to increase your wisdom. The Bay also connects to the number 22, which is a master number that speaks of making the best of what's already there. This is a number of a great teacher and of someone who has, as already mentioned, a lot of wisdom. So you have a lot to gain, despite March seeming like it's not as interesting as it really is. The time shows me that you're very courageous when it comes to what to do next in your life. You're feeling as though you want to take a big risk, and that in itself is great. So use that in order to prep yourself for what is to come next. Don't take the big risks in March despite feeling like that's the right time. hold on to that energy, hold on to that courage, and continue to build on it, continue to create momentum. I see here within the cucumber that all my beautiful Cancerians, your emotional well-being is actually in a pretty good place, but March is also a good month for you to invest in that rather than just frivolously spend money on items that won't really do anything for you, or items that are cool right now but will go out of style soon. So I see here with the cucumber that the one no spend exception is therapy or self-development. So purchasing books that can help you to just read stories, even fictitious stories. They don't have to be self-help books per se, but just spending time reading, spending time taking care of yourself, that's an important thing for you to do. And as already mentioned, finding excitement in making the best of what you have rather than feeling like you need new things or you need to just feed into consumerism. The strawberry shows me that there are a lot of like-minded people with whom you can connect with during the month of March. A lot of forums, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of people just on the internet who understand where you're coming from and who can help you in order to stay on track. You simply need to look out for it. You simply need to find these little nooks and crannies in which you can get support from like-minded people. I see here within the pain card that, yeah, during the month of March, there will be a little bit of pain when you want to do something or get something, but you know you should restrain yourself, and rather than simply put a little band-aid on the feelings that you're having, such as drinking alcohol or buying something, having that quick adrenaline rush that comes with those actions, actually sitting with yourself and figuring out why you want to distract yourself or give in. It won't be easy, but it's so worth it, because we do have the Bay, which shows that you will gain so much extra wisdom, my beautiful Cancerians. And I hope that you can appreciate me being honest and not just reading only positive cards. Next up, we've got magic. So everything is going to open up to you during the month of March once you've figured out how to cope with any pain or difficulties that you may have been experiencing. And once you figure it out exactly why you have coping mechanisms that you have. And the anger card shows me that there's definitely a little bit of resentment for some money and time that you've spent in the past trying to fit in or trying to belong to a certain group of people that you didn't belong to and that you were never meant to be part of, because you deserve so much more. You deserve people who want to be around you and who are excited to be with you. Last but not least, we've got the flow card for my beautiful Cancer babies. So do know here that ultimately March is going to flow, but you have to let it flow, and you have to ensure that you don't give in to the temptations of overconsumption and of distracting yourself with things that just feel good in the moment. You want that long-term happiness and that effortless long-term feeling of internal peace, and that's what we're going for, all my beautiful Cancerians. Thank you for being here and spending this divine time and space with me. Make sure that you leave a sun emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here, and I'll catch you during your April predictions. Hello, all my beautiful Leo babies, and welcome to your March 2022 predictions. I can't wait to get into it. Lean back, relax, and enjoy your reading as we delve into what's coming towards you during the month of March. First up, we've got the Two of Wands. You're gonna have to make some decisions, my beautiful Leo babies. You're a very generous sign and you're broad-minded, so it can be hard for you to decide on simply doing one thing or focusing your attention on one area of your life, but you can do it. I see within the Six of Pentacles that the more you hone your skills in one area of life, the more success that you will experience and the more you will be able to give back back to others. And yes, it will be difficult to have to kind of almost, it feels like compromising for my beautiful Leos, compromise how many different talents and interests that you have to only a few, and focusing on ultimately just one thing at a time. But it will definitely yield amazing rewards. The Two of Swords shows me that if you're not sure what to go with, always go with that gut feeling of yours. Always go with whatever feels the most natural. I too have had to make that decision, so I will just use my experience as an example, my beautiful Leo babies. I had to decide whether I wanted to go with something fashion or art related or music related, or whether I focus on tarot on my channel and really delve into the depths of divination. And that just felt the purest to me. It felt the most authentic. So I knew in the Two of Swords that while I'm a multifaceted person and being, and I have other interests as well, delving into divination was meant to be at this time in my life. And right now I couldn't be happier, and I'm so glad that I focused on that. And now I'm at a space where I feel as though I've been able to accomplish way more than if I would have spread myself super thin. And the Two of Pentacles is all about that. It's all about that balance and ensuring that you don't spread yourself too thin, that you don't juggle too many things at the same time, and that you ensure that the things that you're really good at and that you love, most importantly, are what you're focusing your energy and resources on. Next up, we've got the Judgment card. Don't be so hard on yourself, all of my beautiful Leos. I do want you to know here that if you make a wrong decision or seemingly wrong decision, and you go with something that you end up not really loving as much, like for example, if you start up a YouTube channel and then you realize you love creating but you really do not enjoy editing, that can happen. You can maybe outsource it, or you can simply move to a different platform. Maybe creating podcasts would suit you in a way how you feel a lot more gratification. I see in the Queen of Swords that, mentally speaking, March is a very stimulating month as you're going through lots of different scenarios. You're allowing for a very broad and open perspective of life to infiltrate you, and I want you to know within the Queen of Swords that you're unafraid about what it is that you will discover, whether you're discovering that you've been letting fear get in the way, or whether you're discovering that March is finally time for you to move forward with your hobbies. Do know here that it's going to be a very interesting month full of revelations. The pink rose shows me a deep sense of gratitude for March within all of my beautiful Leos. This is a month that you will look back on and think to yourself as a very important, pivotal moment in the year 2022. And the fennel shows me that it will bring out true inner strength that you maybe didn't even know you had in that way. So you've known that you're strong, but I can see that March is definitely bringing out just how much strength that's within you, how much courage that's within you in order for you to actually finally make some decisions that you've been procrastinating and putting off for a very long time. I see here within the Seven of Coins that when it comes to your career, it's important for you to surround yourself with people who make you feel valued. As I see here in the Seven of Coins, that sometimes you're in a meeting or you're in a space with other people, but you still feel alone and you still feel kind of like you're not as valued or appreciated. So it's time for you to really reflect on that and look into whether that is a necessity or whether there's a way that you can remove yourself out of places where you're being underestimated or underpaid. The Eight of Coins actually shows me here that your skills far outweigh how much you're actually currently being paid or how much recognition you're currently being given. I can see that you're not quite valued as much as you could be, all my beautiful Leos. And the Queen of Swords shows me that it's important for you to be honest about that, to not hold back, to ask for a raise. And the Queen of Swords here in the first deck showing up twice essentially within your reading is actually a sign that you have to be blunt, you have to be honest, you have to be real. If you know that you're not being respected or treated the way that you should, either at your workplace or by people who are grading your work, by people who are judging you in a realm of your life where you're actually putting a lot of time and effort into it, you have to protect yourself and you have to set firm boundaries and ensure that if they do not want to just respect you or treat you respectfully by default, that you can stand up for yourself and tell them what your boundaries are and enforce those boundaries. I can see here within the Queen of Chalices that doesn't take away from your very loving and caring side just because you want to be brutally honest and real, and it's important for you to get your money's worth or to be paid fairly. That doesn't make you a demanding person. That actually simply shows that you know your worth and you're not going to take any less than that. So all of my beautiful Leo babies, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Leave a little lion emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to this point. Thank you for spending this divine time and space with me once again during a monthly prediction, and I can't wait to connect with you during April's horoscopes at the latest, so I'll catch you then. Hello all my gorgeous Virgo babies, and welcome to your March 2022 prediction. Let's get straight into the second and even more personalized part of your reading, shall we? So let's see what's coming towards you. We've got the Ace of Wands, we've got the Empress, as well as the Hanged One. So all of my beautiful Virgo babies do know here within the Ace of Wands that during the month of March you will have many great new innovative ideas on how you can make yourself feel better, how you can take better care of yourself physically, but also emotionally and mentally. And I can see here within the Hanged One that rather than jumping straight towards the very first idea that you have, you're taking a little bit of time to research, to figure out how it is that you can best incorporate these personal upgrades into your life. So the Ace of Wands shows me that you may have an idea like, for example, visiting therapy, having a personal trainer or a workout plan scoped out for yourself, maybe eating more healthily and budgeting enough time, money, and energy in for that in order to flourish. As I can see here in the Empress, that you want to take good care of your body and your mind, and it's also very important for you to do your research to find what you think will serve you the most. For some of us, it's adding more physical activity to our day-to-day lives. For others, it is getting that mental and emotional support from a professional. So do know here that there's no reason to stress. The most important thing for all my beautiful Virgo babies is just that you're thinking of how you can upgrade things during the month of March, and that you're looking into the best option for yourself and also what makes sense for you financially speaking. As a Virgo, you are very modest. You're the type of person who is also very reliable, so you want to make sure that your service that you go for reflects just that you're not kind of flocking towards something that just sounds good because it has a fancy name or a fancy group of people who are endorsing it, but it really needs to work. I see here within the cucumber that March is going to be a month filled with new emotions for you, emotions of excitement, but also kind of not knowing and being very nervous. So those emotions are very close to each other, right? Excitement and nervosity, but I do want you to know that it's all for the better, as the Violet does show that on one hand you have a month ahead of you that has a lot of excited type of energy, but also on the other hand there is tranquility and stillness if you only allow yourself to access it. The Hanged One and the Violet shows me here that in quiet moments, tender moments where you're asking yourself exactly what would be best for you and what you want to commit to and invest your time and money into, those are the moments where you will feel calmer than ever, and where it will seem so far removed that you were ever kind of anxious or feeling stressed out or in a place of simply not knowing what to do next. I can see here within the strawberry that you're definitely in agreement with the things happening around you. So you're inserting yourself into a social circle and environment where you have the same morals and you have the same ideals as the people who you're with. So there isn't any friction in your social life. And I do want you to know here within the strawberry that being in agreement with those around you can be a very nice, refreshing change because you finally feel like you're within a group of people who get you and understand you. The King of Wands is an interesting person to be part of your life during the month of March. I see that this is someone who you really vibe with. It's like everything that you say, they are in agreement with, and vice versa, and not just because they are trying to flatter you or they want something from you, but you can genuinely feel that you're on the same wavelength with this person. And the Three of Cups here shows me that you're going to meet this King of Wands person during a social outing or interaction, a work meeting, just a place where other people will be as well. It's rather crowded there, and I do want you to know here that you'll be able to pick out the King of Wands from the crowd, as it will stand out to you that somehow you just click with that person. Somehow, whenever your eyes lock and meet, you feel as though, there's something there. There's a special connection. I see here within the Three of Swords that when it comes to this King of Wands person, this King of Fire signs, right? Because the Suit of Wands corresponds to the element of fire. So think Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. I see that they are going through some sort of breakup and a tough time, romantically speaking. So that may be why they are even open to connecting with you or locking eyes with you. And I see here within the Four of Cups that it's kind of important for you to know that if you were to move forward into a connection or relationship with this person, that they would need time to sort out their affairs. But it may just be fun for a short flirt or just for a short little bit of excitement, just talking to someone who you can just feel the air is electric around, and an innocent encounter that you both enjoy, but that isn't necessarily a soulmate type of connection, unless of course you give them time to sort out what they're going through right now. I can see here within the knot that plans with them are most likely going to be unsuccessful during the month of March, because as mentioned, they're quite busy and their personal life is messy. So getting too attached to the King of Wands is not a great idea. In the frying pan, I see that they are already in trouble. They're already being accused of not being loyal and not taking their relationship seriously. So what they really need is just time to sort out their own affairs. I can see here within the purse that your guides in the universe wants you to pay close attention to your finances during the month of March. And as we already mentioned within the Ace of Wands, the Empress, and the Hanged One, that when you're looking at ways in which you can improve your self-care routine and just overall the types of ways in which you grant yourself permission to take care of yourself, to level up, it is important for you to not only have fun, but also be mindful of the costs. But the 10 card shows me here that celebration, fun, and enjoyment, those are all important parts of March for you. And here, connecting that to the Three of Cups, it becomes inherently clear that you are going to have some sort of party or celebration that will be pretty unforgettable during the month of March that you're a part of. Within lightning, it is important for you to control your emotions or any type of anger that you may have towards a situation or another person, or else you will feel sorry for it. You will regret the things that you said or did. So try to keep your emotions under control, all my beautiful Virgo babies. And if you feel as though you're about to burst out of anger or just out of disappointment, take a little step back, allow for yourself to embrace your Virgo characteristics, and try not to act out in an impulsive manner when it comes to any emotional situations. So all of my beautiful Virgo babies, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section by leaving a lightning emoji down below to let me and others know that you're a Virgo and that you were here. Thank you for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you at the latest during your April predictions. Hello, all my beautiful Libra babies, and welcome to your March 2022 predictions. Let's move straight into it. All you need to do is lean back, relax, and enjoy your reading. So first up, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, we've got the Temperance card, as well as the Death card. We have a very, very fun combination of major arcana cards. These are cards that represent big events in your life. The Wheel of Fortune shows me here that during the month of March, anything that was set in motion is going to come to fruition and completion. So if you've been trying to apply for a new job, or you've been trying to get a business off of the ground, you will finally see some successes, and you will finally see what direction you should continue to move in, as there are results that are showing up for you during the month of March. Furthermore, in the Temperance card, don't get ahead of yourself, all my beautiful Libra babies. You are definitely a very charming sign. You are a sign that is easygoing and romantic, but I do also see here in the Temperance card that you can sometimes get ahead of yourself, and that is where the Death card comes into play. If you get ahead of yourself too quickly, if you get ahead of the curve in a way that your things just simply are not ready to be pushed forward yet, then you will definitely be pushed back by the universe. You will have to start from scratch. So for example, if you're finally getting some new sales in your business, or you've had some sort of upgrade in your professional life, and you're already spending more money than you actually have, or you're already pre-planning too far in advance, you will notice that there are some pushbacks that are coming towards you, as you are meant to enjoy what's happening in the moment and not kind of count your chickens before you've got the eggs, if you know what I mean, all my beautiful Libra babies. So next up, we've got the Weeping Willow, as well as the Fly. I can see here within the Weeping Willow and the Fly that there is some sort of family sorrow and depression that you're dealing with during the month of March, and I hope that you can appreciate my honesty. That is first and foremost the most important thing for me as a reader. I don't just want to read cards that are positive or remove any cards that show difficult scenarios. This is life, and it's important for us to definitely recognize that sometimes difficult things will happen. The Fly can also represent a period of ill health, and maybe you're already kind of aware of what I'm talking about here in the Weeping Willow and the Fly. So try to do your best in order to focus on the things that are going well, because there are tons of those. I see here within the wall as well as the door that there are some opportunities that await you, and as already mentioned, it's important for you to allow for those opportunities to come through, to sign off on them, to actually actively engage in the opportunities before you already start counting on the rewards that you're hoping to get out of situations. I can see here within the Beetroot that you're feeling really passionate about helping out a family member. You're helping out a close friend who is going through a difficult time, who is going through depression or a period of ill health. And I want you to know here within the Dahlia that your help is very much appreciated. And even though that person may be in pain or distress, they're trying the best that they possibly can to not show you what they're going through. The Apple shows me here that when it comes to opportunities that are new and coming your way in March, there will be a continuance of it. So March isn't the only month in which you have lots of great new opportunities coming towards your life, but I can see here that for the next few months there will be a lot of new exciting things, a lot of new doors that are showing up for you that you may go through. As the fig is a symbol of vitality, this is a symbol of there being lots more where these opportunities came from. I see within the marigold that when it comes to any sorrow, depression, or difficult situation with a family member, your main job really is to remain positive and to bring amazing energy and a good attitude to the table. And regardless of whether there is a cure for the situation or not, a quick fix or no fix at all, At the end of the day, bringing a positive outlook, attitude, and amazing energy with you into the situation is going to do so much more for everyone involved than if you were just allowing for difficult emotions or feelings of anxiety to take over. And after all, yes, it is hard to separate your things from your families, but there are some amazing doors and opportunities that are presenting themselves to you that you may go through. So it is truly important that you don't have this wall up or this misunderstanding, feeling as though you have to choose between being there for people and choosing what's best for you and furthering your career and your life. You can do both, and you don't have to feel guilty about it, all my beautiful Libra babies. So we are at the end of your March prediction. I hope that you could appreciate my honesty and that you found this insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section by leaving a little flower emoji down below to let me and others know that you were here. Thank you so much for being here and spending this divine time and space with me. And at the latest, I will catch you during your April predictions. Hello, all my beautiful Scorpio babies, and welcome to your March 2022 prediction. Let's move straight into it so we can figure out what's coming towards you and what you're going through. So let's see what we've got. We've got comfort, the ghost, as well as peace. So we're starting off pretty strong, I'd say, my beautiful Scorpios. I see that March will bring some sort of sense of comfort as well as peace as you finally have some of the answers that you were looking for. As the ghost shows me here that something that was once hidden is going to be revealed to you, and you will finally have that clarity that you needed, that answer that you needed. So maybe you applied for something, or you've just always kind of felt like there was a friend who had to come out with a secret that they've been keeping, or they've kind of been downplaying what they've been going through. But in March, you will finally have other people and situations open up to you so that you can have clarity and you can rest assured that you know everything that you need to know. I can see here within the rejection card that it's way easier for you to simply just receive a rejection and know that you have that rejection show up for you and move on with your life, whether that be with a job or a romantic partner. But within your reading, I also want you to be aware of the fact that this is not necessarily a rejection that affects you directly. This could be a rejection of a close friend or family member who ended up breaking up with a partner, or ended up not getting that job or that apartment, that loan that they applied for. I can see here in ideation that they already have some new ideas of how to move forward. They already have some new ways in which they want to pick themselves back up and not remain in a place of feeling isolated or maybe down and out. So this is all a pretty positive situation, because of course in life there will be rejections. Not every situation is going to be a definitive yes, and not every situation is going to work out the way that we want it to, and that's okay. But the P shows me here that communication is finally being shared and being had during the month of March within your realm, my beautiful Scorpio babies. So communication can bring a lot of comfort. I see that that is especially the case for you, and that may be because as a Scorpio, you are of course also the type of sign who would rather know the truth and be hurt by the truth than be comforted by a lie. I would say that is the one quote that really sums up Scorpios. Next up, we've got the apple as well as the fig. So know that March is going to be a continuance of vitality and feeling as though, yes, you've got this and you've got the energy required in order to move forward in the ventures that you seek to be successful in. Next up, we've got the Nine of Swords as well as the Ace of Cups. We've got the Sun and the Ace of Pentacles. Let's talk about it, all my beautiful Scorpios. The Sun and the Ace of Cups shows me here a new or renewed sense of love in a romantic relationship. So if you are single, this is a great month for you to meet someone. There will be a lot of fun surrounding that. However, if you're in a relationship, I see this renewed sense of love and romance. The Nine of Swords as well as the Ace of Pentacles shows me that there is some fear and some feelings of scarcity, some feelings of what if I don't make it? What if this doesn't take off? What if I'm not successful at my job? Because the Ace of Pentacles represents the earthly realms and things such as your professional life, and the Nine of Swords corresponds to what's happening within your head, mentally speaking. The Nine of Swords shows nightmares. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, which speaks of new beginnings financially and when it comes to the earthly realm. So if you just started a new job, of course it's normal to be anxious, to be unsure, and if you're thinking of following through with a business idea, yeah, you're definitely going to be feeling as though you're unsure and you're afraid of this rejection that could come at any moment. So try to calm yourself, my beautiful Scorpio babies. Try to remind yourself of the fact that as long as you've put in all of the work and effort that you could, that's the best that you can do, and that's something to be proud of, and to rest assured that you've done everything in your power. Try not to allow your nerves and overthinking to get the best of you, as there are so many positives in March for you, my beautiful Scorpios. So this is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful, and I hope that you can appreciate my honesty. Leave a little ghost emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end of this reading and that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here and spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you at the latest during your April predictions. Hello all my beautiful Sagittarius babies, and welcome to your March 2022 predictions. Let's move straight into it so we can figure out what is coming towards you during the month of March. We've got sweetness, success, and faith. Wow, we're off to a really positive start, all my beautiful Sagittarius babies. Looks as though the month of March is going to be very positive for you. It looks like it's going to be a great month. We've got sweetness as well as success. So of course, success is sweet and sweetness feels like success, vice versa, right? So there are a lot of feelings here of March being an amazing month for you, and I can see within faith that you will find these confirmations within your day-to-day life that keeping faith in whatever it is that you have faith in was the right thing for you to do. So if you've always had faith in the universe providing, or you've always had faith in your religion, or just staying positive, being a good person, and karma coming back to you positively as well, know that there will be so many moments in which you find that your faith has been confirmed and that you're having a lot of success in your endeavors, and that of course brings sweetness, happiness, and feelings as though it should just simply never end. The Nine of Pentacles shows me that especially in the earthly realms, when it comes to your career and your professional life, you are yielding a lot of great results, okay? You feel as though you're really close to the success that you were looking for, even though you're already happy with where you're at during the month of March. You know you can push it just that little bit further, but the success that you already have during March is definitely already serving you in an amazing way and making you feel like life is just super sweet. I can see here within the Seven of Pentacles that you are deeply inclined to take more action. So when it comes to your investments or your plans for your finances and how you want to spend your time, try to really stick to those plans. Like, for example, if you have something in a retirement fund, or you've invested in stocks, or you're saving money and putting it aside for something specific, know here in the Seven of Pentacles not to take it out of that fund, not to take it out of the stock market, not to take it out of that account. You get the idea, my beautiful Sagittarius babies. Just leave it there so it can continue to grow and continue to create that delayed gratification. The Ten of Cups is actually basically the most positive card of the suit of cups, and I'd say the most positive card of the minor arcana, or at least one of the most positive cards, and it shows happiness. As you can see, fulfillment, togetherness, being with family, being in a space where you feel as though there's nothing that you could want for and that you have everything that you need. And I see here within the Knight of Wands that there is an individual here who plays a big role in this happiness and success. The Knight of Wands is the Knight of fire signs because the Suit of Wands corresponds to the element of fire. As a Sagittarius, this is most likely the representation of who you are, and the fact that your resilience and your fighting spirit has brought you to this point where you can simply enjoy all that life has to offer, and you can simply sit back and be proud of your accomplishments. I can see within the basil as well as the black mulberry that you had to put a lot of faith and trust into things working out in the end, and I can see that you will be rewarded for that trust that you had in yourself as well as the universe. And the violet and the watermelon shows me that March is a great month for not only relaxing but also looking into fertility and how that is interesting to you or not. All my beautiful Sagittarius babies, not everybody is interested in having children or fertility even being something that is discussed within a relationship or has anything to do with their amount of happiness in life. So don't feel pressured into it. Know that this watermelon showing up within your reading could also be a symbol that you can finally sit down, think about why fertility isn't right now in the cards for you, and rest assured that you have nothing to rush towards and you have nothing to feel guilty about. Just because other people may have, or seemingly may have, more of an idea of how they want to continue to build a family or what their family should look like 10 years from now, that doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. As I do want you to know here that you have so many great things going on in your career and in your existing family. Why overthink the future and why overthink future plans when there is just so much to be excited about in the present moment during the month of March? We've got success, we've got sweetness, the 10 of Cups. We've just got so many things that indicate that March is an amazing month for you, my beautiful Sagittarius babies, and I strongly believe that March is only able to be this great because you are a very optimistic and good-humored sign, and that reflects in your life very often. So continue to be yourself and to embrace that. All my beautiful Sagittarius babies, this is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Leave a little volcano emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end. And at the very latest, I'll speak to you during your April predictions. Hello, all my beautiful Capricorn babies, and welcome to your March 2022 predictions. Let's get right into it. All you need to do is lean back, relax, and enjoy your reading. So first up, we've got the Queen of Cups, we've got the Star, as well as the 10 of Swords. An interesting combination here, my beautiful Capricorns. The Queen of Cups shows me that you are in full control over your emotions, you're in full control over how you feel, and the Star shows me that you're very hopeful for the future and for your success. So having this very positive attitude and outlook is going to serve you, as I can see in the 10 of Swords, that you're really kind of over feeling bad about yourself, your accomplishments, your looks, and just overall where you are in life. The 10 of Swords shows me that, as you can see here, just being focused on your phone, meanwhile everything in your life is kind of continuing on, but you're on social media or you're just looking at things online, you're done with that. You're no longer focusing your energy and your attention on comparing yourself online or even feeling in any type of way as though you're inferior to someone who's on your timeline. I can see that you're focused on living your life, being in the now, and reminding yourself that the things you see online, those are just the best moments, people's favorite snapshots. That is how they want to portray themselves. But life is pretty similar, I'd say, for a lot of us without even realizing it. We all go through similar ups and downs, but those are usually not the things that are being displayed, especially by people in the public eye. The Two of Cups shows me here that March has great potential for you to meet a romantic partner, a new one, or for the romantic energy in an existing relationship to be renewed and feel as though you're on the same wavelength again. As the King of Swords shows me that being very honest with potential romantic partners and people who you are in physical relationships with actually serves the situation, because there is no delusion to what you want or what you expect. And it also encourages the other person to be honest as well, rather than to play games or to feel as though they can get away with stringing you along. I see here within the Dahlia that this is something that you have learned over time, to be more open and direct, to not feel in any way ashamed of expressing what you desire. And the Bay shows me that this is actually a symbol of wisdom that you have been fortunate enough to acquire and to make part of your journey. I can see here within the Broken Ring that there is this parting of the ways in either a romance or business. So think to yourself, switching jobs or just not working with a coworker on a specific project any longer, maybe parting ways in business of just knowing that you can't work with this person long term and cutting the strings right now, because in the rest of your reading, especially with the Two of Cups, we have the symbol of your romantic love being in a really great place. So the broken ring is a representation of something happening in your career, in business. The bow shows me that you are still highly thought of, and that goes especially for your romantic life. You're in a state where a lot of people find your energy attractive, and people definitely also find your energy attractive in the workplace, and you just being honest about not being able to work with someone or feeling as though a work relationship may not work out, that is actually seen as a very brave thing to do, and a lot of people actually appreciate that way more than you just pretending like everything is okay. I can see here within the Bear that it is essential for you to still ensure that you have any legal papers or forms that need to be in place, that you put those in place, all my beautiful Capricorns. So no handshake agreements. If you're walking away from a business deal or you're parting ways with a business partner, put it in writing, even if they say, oh, you know, we'll sort it out later. I mean, we've all heard about those divorce scenarios where one person says that they will pay the other person back and they just want to save legal fees by handling it out of court, settling it outside of the system, the legal system, and then all of a sudden when it comes time to share assets or to actually split the difference, they don't do it. All of a sudden they disappear, or they say that they never intended to do so. So definitely make sure that you put any type of legal procedures in place where they are needed. As the Spear shows me here that if you fail to do so, there will be heartache over what you no longer have, so secure that. There's a reason why the system exists, and it's not, well, sometimes it does feel like it's just to rob us of some of our privileges, but it's not necessarily just for that, and you can make use of it and use it to your advantage rather than just sit there and only watch when the system doesn't work. You know, use it to your advantage and to protect yourself. I can see here within the Princess of Wands that this may be new to you, just setting yourself up, or how should I say, having contracts in place that work in your favor if someone doesn't keep their word. But remember, if someone is trying to shame you because you're protecting yourself or being smart about your money, assets, and finances that you've worked so hard to generate, then you really got to question yourself what their motives are and if there are any ulterior motives around. The Ace of Wands shows me here that you will have some great new insight by the end of March on how you would like to move forward, professionally speaking, and those insights will actually allow for you to completely create a new career for yourself. As I see here within the Tower, that you're unafraid to start afresh on a big project and to be creative and inventive. Last but not least, the Eight of Pentacles shows me that there will be a lot of deep work that you're engaged in. There will be countless hours of you being highly focused on a project, working on it, learning, studying, and simply spending time honing your skills and getting better and better at what you do. So all of my beautiful Capricorn babies, this is the reading that I received for you for March. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section by leaving a little bear emoji down there to let me and others know that you're a Capricorn and that you made it to the end. Thank you for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me. And at the latest, I'll see you during your April horoscope. Hello, all my beautiful Aquarius babies, and welcome to your March 2022 predictions. Let's move straight into it. Lean back, relax, and enjoy the second and even more personalized part of your reading. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, we've got the Justice card, as well as the Ten of Wands. In the Eight of Pentacles, I see a lot of flow state type of work. I see you being encompassed in a project where you are working for hours and hours on end without even noticing that the time is going by. So truly being in your flow state and creating some really awesome things. In the Justice card, I can see that this actually creates a lot of balance for you as well, especially if you're more of the introverted type or the type who thrives when they're able to simply work on projects on their own without someone constantly looking over their shoulder. That is where I can see in the Justice card and the Eight of Pentacles that your creative outlet during the month of March is allowing for you to find space and time to reset, as the Ten of Wands shows me here that you're closer to a burnout than you've maybe realized. As an Aquarius baby, you're definitely someone who is very loyal and smart and independent, but at the same time, you're sometimes your own worst enemy because you simply don't know when to stop and when to give yourself a very much deserved break. So having a project that recharges you going on during the month of March is almost like tricking yourself through doing work into recovery and into a space where you're not checking your phone, you're not checking the internet or emails, and actually this quote-unquote work is giving you a lot of time to simply decompress and be focused on one single thing at a time rather than being really scattered. The Sweet Corn shows me that there's a ritual that's taking place in your life during the month of March, so think a full moon or new moon ritual. It could also be a ritual of celebrating a birthday. I do want you to know here within the Sweet Corn and the Ten of Wands that it's essential for you to partake in it. Don't kind of skip out on what you would really like to do just because you have work commitments. It's also very important for you to live life, okay? Not just let it pass you by because you're so focused on work. So know within the Basil that even though you may feel like saying no to parties and just having fun in life is saying yes to work and success, it doesn't have to be so black and white, okay? You can give yourself a certain amount of time or a certain amount of evenings and days per month to have fun and to recharge, because at the end of the day, if you never give yourself time to relax and regenerate your energy, then the quality of your work will slowly start to dwindle and decline. We've got the sorrel as well as the pink rose. So I can see here that there are some things happening romantically for you. There's some affection, there's some gratitude, there's definitely a situation going on here for you, my beautiful Aquariuses, where you feel like someone fully sees you and like you can just be comfortable in your body, whether you're completely nude or whether you're clothed. They just make you feel comfortable and like you are an attractive human being inside and out, and like you don't have to worry about what you look like from this angle or what you look like first thing in the morning, how your body is shaped. You just feel like you can completely be yourself and embrace yourself. And this shows within the Empress The Empress is definitely a symbol of beauty and attractiveness, which is what you possess for the month of March, especially as when you enter a room, people can tell that your energy is in a state of feeling confident, feeling as though you know where you belong and you know that you have a place in this world, that you belong in this world, and you taking up space is so valid. The Queen of Pentacles here shows me that you're also really bossing up in your professional life and your career. So you're holding on to your assets. You're not spending anything frivolously. And the Queen of Pentacles shows me that one of the big things that you're doing in March as well is being unafraid to stand up against anyone who is doing things in a sneaky manner. So if you know that at your workplace there are some men or women or just people who are doing things in a manner that they shouldn't, but they have power and authority, you're going to bring it to their attention in a very eloquent and smart way without them having enough grounds to distrust you or even think of firing you, but still making them aware of the fact that you see what's going on. I see here within the Eight of Wands that there's a lot of forward movement, a lot of quick things happening. So you may not even notice March go by because it just happens so quickly, a lot more quickly than, say, January and February. But overall, the World card is basically the most favorable card of the major arcana, or one, I would say top 3 of the entire tarot deck when it comes to favorability, if that's even a word, my beautiful Aquarius babies. So the World shows me that you are in a happy place in March. You feel like March was a successful month, like it was a month in which you grew, in which you had time to also take care of yourself and your personal affairs, and where your private life and your romantic life was in a space where you felt comfortable, seen, loved, and like you could fully embrace your physical body. So all of my beautiful Aquarius babies, this is your March 2022 prediction. I hope that you found it insightful and fun. Let me know down below in the comment section. Leave a little globe emoji in the comment section. That way other Aquarius babies can identify you. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll catch you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello all my beautiful Pisces babies, and welcome to your March 2022 predictions. I'm gonna get straight into it. All you need to do is lean back, relax, and enjoy your reading. So we've got the 10 of Cups as well as 3 other cards that we will uncover. First and foremost, the 10 of Cups is one of the most favorable cards of the tarot deck. The 10 of Cups shows that there is happiness, fulfillment, bliss, everything's going amazing in your home life, your family, and your personal life. Next up, we've got the Ace of Swords. So because everything is going so amazingly well, you have some new ideas. You have a new innovative approach to life that you want to share with those around you. I see here in the 2 of Wands as well as the 9 of Cups that you're unafraid to use manifestation, as well as the 9 of Cups is actually also known as the wish card of the tarot. So you're basically able to make a wish and it is said to come true when the 9 of Cups appears. So manifest like crazy during the month of March, my beautiful Pisces babies, as it is very likely to be successful. And I see that you're unafraid to share your ideas of having a more positive outlook about life with your friends and family, as the 2 of Wands shows me that you're ready to leave the old you behind and to embrace the new you, as you feel so held and seen and supported by the people surrounding you. You know it's time for you to come out of the spiritual closet or literal closet and share with others how they can enrich their life potentially the way you have, through using things such as positive affirmations, keeping a gratitude journal, tarot, meditation, yoga. I mean, whatever practices it is that you have been making part of your life and seeing as actually affecting you very positively, you are ready to share those. I can see within the Black Mulberry that there is this wholeness to you during the month of March, and there is this feeling of not wanting or longing for anything, but having absolutely everything that you could need or ever dream of, my beautiful Pisces babies. Finally, you are a very selfless type of sign, You are very intuitive and inclusive. You never want to leave anybody out. So it's also nice to see you win, to see you have a month in which things are just flowing effortlessly and where you can come out of your shell and be honest about the things that you love and the things that you have made a part of your life recently that have served you. The geranium shows me that there's a lot of ancestral healing that you're able to do during the month of March. We spoke about how important family is and the people who surround you and being open and honest and coming out of the closet in many different ways, shapes, and forms. So that could be coming out of the closet about being different when it comes to your aspirations. Maybe it's coming out of the closet when it comes to your romantic life. Just do know here in the geranium that you're doing stuff that other people before you in your lineage have not done out of maybe fear or out of respect for the community, and you are rewriting this history. You're rewriting your story. And you're ensuring that everybody knows that you're still respectful of their beliefs and the community, and that you want relationships to be strengthened. But at the same time, you also want to respect yourself and be yourself and embrace yourself. And respecting yourself as well as respecting those around you and your community and your traditions, that can go hand in hand. There does not have to be any distance there. We've got the violet as well as the orange. I can see that you find a lot of energy in tranquility and being alone. So you're definitely going through a phase of being highly intrinsically motivated. So not really finding things in the outer world that motivate you as much as you find things on the inside. So yeah, while money may be a motivation for some to work hard, or fame or power, some people are hungry for that, and that is the thing that keeps them going in their professional life. I can see that you actually derive a lot of your energy from just feeling content with your accomplishments and knowing that you did the best that you could do, and money will follow if you do that. That is the type of energy that I can see oozing from you during the month of March, my beautiful Pisces. Next up, we've got pain. Some pain will, of course, come up during healing. And the most important thing for me as a reader is just to be honest. Of course, I could take out all of the negative or difficult, challenging cards and only read the positives. But when you're healing ancestral trauma and you're opening up, of course, there will be pain to some degree at least, but I can also see that there will quickly be a lot of comfort. There will quickly be that person to give you a big hug, to show you that they understand you, or that they're trying to understand you, and to be there for you during a time of vulnerability, to be there for you during a time in which you feel as though you could be alone, or it could potentially go wrong. So your bravery is going to be rewarded. The basil shows me that it is essential for you to trust that as long as you're following your heart and you're doing what you know is right, and of course if it doesn't harm anybody and it simply just makes you feel like you can show up as a better version of yourself for the world and for yourself and everyone who you come in contact with, trust that others are at a point where they can understand that and support you. The Kent pumpkin, last but not least, my beautiful Pisces, shows me that March will be a highly productive month, and not in this toxic productivity type of way where you have to be so organized and doing something every second of the day, but in a way of being productive spiritually, emotionally, and also professionally. So March overall looks to be a really positive, great month for you, my beautiful Pisces. So I really do hope that you're looking forward to it as well, and that you found this reading helpful, insightful, and calming. Let me know down below in the comment section by leaving a little orange emoji there, so me and your fellow Pisces brothers and sisters know that you were here all the way through the second part of your prediction. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and at the very latest, I will catch you during April's predictions.